Hi friends, Mr. H here. Today I've got a really special treat for you. I'm going to read to you Noodlephant, one of the favorite books in my house. It's about an elephant's quest for social justice. And this is a real favorite book here. I read it to my twin 6-year-old daughters and they just loved it. They made me read it 3 times in a row. So I hope you're going to like it just as much. We love it here. And it's got a really great message, I think. So let's enjoy Noodlephant right now. Here we go. Once there was an elephant who loved noodles. She loved noodles so much that all her friends called her Noodlephant. She loved to scoop noodles in huge slippery slurps and eat them by the trunkload. And there she is, enjoying her noodles. See? She had neighbors of all sorts. Some had fur, some were smooth. Some could roll and some could fly. And some had deep pockets and were very, very bossy. They were the kangaroos. Dun dun dun. See them over there? The kangaroos were always making new laws. They made laws about who could swim at the beach. Only kangaroos. Who could enjoy the butterfly garden? Only kangaroos. And who could make laws? Only kangaroos. Noodlefant and her friends knew the laws weren't fair, but they didn't want to get thrown into the zoo. So instead of swimming in the beach, they cooled off in the sprinkler. Instead of visiting the butterfly garden, they watched moths dance in the lamplight. Instead of making laws, they made food for each other. And there they are doing exactly that. They're having a nice dinner party. Noodlefant in particular was famous for her pasta parties. She loved to mix whole bags of semolina flour with dozens of eggs, delighting her guests with noodles in all shapes and sizes. There they are. It looks delicious. For special occasions, she gathered wild mushrooms to make her grandmother's secret sauce. There you go. One day, while Noodlefant was shopping for a party, a kangaroo blew his whistle. "You there, elephant! What are you doing with all those eggs and semolina flour?" Said Noodlefant, trying to remain calm. "I was thinking of a fresh batch of fettuccine. Maybe some cavatappi would be nice. Or I could stretch a tangle of tagliatelle." And there she is with the eggs and the flour that she needs. "Oh, no, you won't," snapped the kangaroo, pulling a law book from his pouch. "Elephants are no longer allowed to eat noodles. It says so right here. Noodles are for kangaroos. Elephants shall only eat sticks and branches." And there they are, bossing him around. "Maybe you don't know me," said Noodlefant, "but I'm Noodlefant. I'm all about noodles." "You're an elephant," said the kangaroo. "If we catch you eating noodles, we'll lock you in the zoo. Buy some acacia branches and don't even think about noodles." And look, the kangaroo's being unfair right now. Let's see what happens next. Walking home, Noodlefant couldn't help but think about noodles. She thought about their shapes and colors and all their slurpy sauces. There she is in the rain, thinking about noodles. Let's see what happens next. When her friends arrived, Noodlefant had nothing to offer them. She tried pouring tomato sauce on the acacia branches. But they were not happy. They were not slurpable. The thorns prickled and poked inside their bellies. You can see she's not very happy. As Noodlefant gazed at her tender belly button, it reminded her of something. A tortellino, which is a special type of pasta. All at once she had an idea. A fantastic idea. A revolutionary idea for a completely new kind of machine. Together, Noodlefant and her friends tapped and tinkered, singing as they worked. "Those kangaroos are kangarooed, making rules about our food, telling us how we should think, what we should eat, and what to drink. When our new machine is done, we'll have pasta by the ton, 'cause noodles are for me's and you's, not just for bossy kangaroos." So let's see what machine they make. They called their machine the Fantastic Noodler. It was very complicated, but also very simple. With a few turns of the crank, it could turn anything into noodles. There they are working together. Noodlefant tossed in some pens. She turned the crank and out came a pile of overcooked pen. Too soggy! She knocked a dent in the side and the pasta came out perfectly al dente. They looked around the house and found more stuff to transform, cranking cans into cannelloni, pillows into ravioli, and radiators into radiatori. Let's see what happens next. The noodles were slippery, slurpy, and scrumptious. It was a grand party, the best one yet. That is until who's here? They're watching them. See? The kangaroos have come. Come out with your trunk up! So let's see what happens next. The kangaroos tried Noodlefant in a kangaroo court. They said she had broken the laws. Noodlefant said that the laws were already broken. That means she thinks the laws aren't fair. So let's see what happens now. She declared the laws for elephants and shrews, tortoises, fruit bats, and gnu's should be the same as those we use for all you wealthy kangaroos. Guilty, shouted the judge. As she was being led away, Noodlefant shouted, justice is for all of us, not just for the bossiest. And though right now it seems absurd, one day you'll want to eat your words. I wonder what she means by that. Let's find out. Something's going to happen. Something great. Each day a zookeeper brought Noodlefant a pile of thorny acacia bushes, the one she hates. And each day she refused to eat them. She was on strike. Weeks passed and Noodlefant got thinner and thinner. When her friends visited, they worried about her health. They urged her to eat, but she was resolute. The kangaroo laws aren't fair, and everyone knows it. I'll starve before I eat a single thorn. But her friends aren't going to let her starve. Her friends called the kangaroos and wrote them letters. They protested outside the courthouse. Some kangaroos agreed the laws were wrong, but most didn't care. And there they are on television, letting it know that it's not fair. And so Noodlefant remained alone, stuck in the zoo. Her friends agreed they had to do something. One lonesome day, Noodlefant received a letter. Dear Noodlefant, we know you don't like acacia branches, but we wish you would try them tonight. Deep down, you might find they're fantastic. Love, your friends. That evening, Noodlefant accepted the zookeeper's pile of thorny branches. She dug deep down and found, and that's one of her friends sneaking in, so they're helping. The fantastic noodler. For an appetizer, she cranked the letter into a steaming bowl of alphabet soup. Then Noodlefant clamped the machine to the bars of her cage. Slowly and quietly, she turned the crank. The iron bars collapsed into a pile of warm udon, which she scooped up in slippery slurps. She had never been so happy to see her friends. They decided to throw a pasta party, the likes of which had never been seen, so they went out and told everyone. Noodlefant's friends spread the word. Everyone was welcome, as long as they had something to share. As for Noodlefant, she knew the time had come to make something very special. She ventured deep into the forest to snuffle out wild mushrooms for her grandmother's secret sauce. As the sun rose over the courthouse square, the animals began to cook. Smells wafted out of the town. Sizzling onions mixed with simmering tomatoes. The tang of garlic blended with fresh basil and Parmesan cheese. It sounds delicious. And there they are outside. They're getting ready for the big pasta party. Soon the guests began to arrive. Each animal brought something different to crank through the fantastic noodler. Together they turned coarse troops into caviatopi, flowers into fiori, and wheels into rotel. That is until... What do you think you're all doing here? It's the police. It's the kangaroo. They're all looking at him. Welcome to our potluck, said Noodlephant. Our guests have all brought something to share. Do you have something to offer? The kangaroo brandished his law book and began. The law is the law. It says right here, noodles are for kanga. What a thoughtful contribution, said Noodlephant. What's he doing with the law book? With a flick of her trunk, she whisked the law book from the kangaroo's paw and threw it into the machine. There he is. Out came a piping hot slice of lasagna covered in bubbling cheese. She topped it off with mushroom and gave it to the kangaroo. It was the best thing he had ever tasted. Maybe he feels differently now. The other kangaroos lined up to crank their law books through the fantastic noodler, turning out tray after tray of mushroom lasagna, and all with her secret sauce. Here's the kangaroos lining up. They just want a taste of it. The town celebrated long into the night, singing together. When the laws are so unjust, misbehavior is a must. Together we will make new rules to share along with fresh noodles. Because noodles are for me and yous. We won't be locked up in the zoos. We'll slurp them down on avenues, at the beach and in canoes. Yes, noodles are for me's and you's. We'll even share with kangaroos. And there's everybody together. There we are. And see, there's Noodlephant serving up all the kangaroos. And that's the end. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this book. What I like about it is that it shows if you see something that's unfair, you can do something about it. You can help others. But I also like it because it shows that everybody can come together as one. Everybody can look past each other's differences and become friends. Something I hope that you'll take away from this book, Noodlephant. And I really appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing this with me. It was really special to me, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as myself and my family did. See you later.